a new vibe here in the studio.
It's a real surreal moment, Cass. I think it's beautiful.
If I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm worried.
Chelsea are not giving a damn about any media. Listen, let the big girls speak here. I think looking at that, Cass, I would actually be more nodding towards Chelsea right now.
What, with the 8 players?
I want to see football, and I want to see big tackles and bodies on the line, and I want it to be carnage.
Man United, for me, I'm like with another couple of windows, and that manager could be looking at winning a WSL.
I'm going 3-2.
Mama had heard that she was linked to Chelsea. If I'm City, you sign the dotted line yesterday, get it done. I believe it is done.
It's done, and there's a few zeros probably whacked on the end. I actually think that Miedema is a better finisher than Bunny Shaw.
Harry Styles was getting paid a lot at the end. If it wasn't a good outcome, people almost turning to anything to say why the performance wasn't good. I've had people tweet me and say that it's because of the music, the new signings, the Nilden duo, even Tinker being in there, just being an absolute machine. I just love watching her. I think there's really, we're finding a real foundation of people to get behind and get really excited about.
Hello there and welcome back to The Kickback on talkSPORT, sponsored by Disney+. Now the home of the UEFA Women's Champions League, where you can watch every match live, 18+, subscription required. My name's Shebahn Aherne. Good to see you, joined by my evil twin sister, professional footballer, Ruesha Littlejohn. Coming up for you on our show today, we're going to be bringing you our predictions for the first leg of the Champions League quarterfinals. It's exciting. Plus, what do we think about the new FIFA ruling around female coaches in international tournaments? And Spurs women's DJ Jess Iszatt is in the house to roll the tapes in her career and Tottenham's league form this season. So stay tuned for all of that and much, much more coming up on The Kickback. Cass, we've got a new vibe here in the studio because we're now with Disney Plus for this episode, and I love Disney Plus. We were just talking about our favourite Disney movies on the way in, and now the home of the UEFA Women's Champions League. I've been lucky to do some work with them, and it's just wonderful. It's wonderful.
Yeah, do you know what? It's actually just funny sitting and looking at that logo. It's a bit like, it's a real surreal moment, Cass. I think it's beautiful.
What, that you're now working with Disney Plus?
Yeah.
I know.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
They probably phoned you and went, can you remove all your content?
Can you not speak for the rest of this episode? So I've smashed it. I've absolutely smashed
done
it.
really, really well. We're going to get into the Champions League very soon because it's a huge week ahead for the UWCL. But you've had a bit of a day today because you were at a funeral first thing this morning for Amy Carr.
Yeah. Amy was a lovely girl. First met Amy when the two of us ended up in Norway together. We signed for Sandviken and we were housemates. So it was the two of us, and we were total opposites. Amy was having protein shakes at night and I was looking for pints. So we're quite the two opposites, but we were good for each other out there. I'm sure I drove her around the bend at times, being maybe what we'd say a bit of a live wire, and she was a bit more quieter than me, but we had a good balance and it worked, so we got on great. I didn't realise that her illness had came back, so it was a bit of a shock seeing that news, but she had a lovely send-off today, so yeah. Sending best wishes to Amy and Amy's family.
Yeah, I had a look on her Instagram as well. We'd been chatting a few years ago regarding her doing some charity matches. It was a brain tumour that she had. And like you say, it was one of those things where when you see that news, you think back to your memories and times gone by and being a little youngster out in Bergen. And I remember me and Brogan got in touch with her to come out and surprise you. And she did the whole setup and stuff like that. But very sad. And also when you look at people who are unwell, like Amy, when she was going through it, the amount she did for charity as well is just crazy.
Yeah, they touched on that today, obviously. She was always doing events, always trying to raise money, was a fitness freak.
Yeah.
I think as long as she could work and run, swim, go to the gym, she was doing it for as long as she can, even with her illness. So, and I think she's just seen the world of trying to leave a positive impact on it. So she's done that, and yeah, it was really touching being there. So God bless. May she rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Amy Carr. And if you would like to donate to Amy's ongoing fundraiser for brain tumour research. You'll find the link in the episode description, so have a look there if you would like to donate. Let's focus, shall we, on what's going on this week, because it was an interesting little time in the WSL. But as we look ahead to what's happening in the Champions League, now we're going to sit down and do a watch along for this, because I feel I have no idea how this is going to go. But Arsenal-Chelsea, the first leg of the quarterfinals, it's a bit of a blockbuster.
Cass.
It's the current champs against the champs of the WSL.
Yeah, it's exciting. Again, like you, Cass, miles off it. No idea which way this is going to end. Obviously, we can delve into. Arsenal have a few wee injury worries here. Players not available. Chelsea, people are up the walls after their training session today, but I'm not too concerned about that, Cass. I'm thinking that it's time of the season. Played a lot of football. They're managing load.
Well, you think this is a bit of a power play?
No, it's not power play. It's not power play.
They'll not let them see. They'll make them think that.
No, I think it's purely within the team and the staff have just been like, right, players that can train today, that's fine. And if we just need to manage anyone and take people's load off, looking at their data, their GPS, how they're feeling, their wellness, all that jazz, I think they've just went extra day off feet for some people, and they might be in the gym, they might be getting treatment. You don't know. I don't think it's that big a deal. But I guess when people see that, it's a bit of a shock. Like, well, why is so many people not training? Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, I think it's quite chill. I don't think it's anything to be worried about.
I'm worried. If I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm worried. I'm sorry, I've never seen an open training session look so quiet before. So I would say there's definite, genuine concern there.
And the press weren't there for the full session, are they? They're not allowed to stay for the full session.
They've got 15 minutes open
session.
Yeah,
so that's like, who's to say that some people didn't come out on the park a wee bit later? You never know. Like, I don't think it's that deep. But I genuinely think it's just a case of they're managing some players and they've looked at the data and went, right, okay, we're just taking the load off a little bit.
But the squad's
they've just played in the final. They've just played in the final. Yes, but that's fine. They can still manage certain players' loads. And like we said, who's to say that the rest of the team maybe didn't come out and join the second half of the session? That's it. It's not that deep.
I just think it opens this conversation up by saying to players, like, don't go out for that part of the session. Like, you go out and you put it on for the media, and now Arsenal are maybe thinking, hold on a minute,
Chelsea are not worried. Chelsea are not giving a damn about any media. They've ticked the box, gave them the access that they need to do. They're not sitting worried about, oh my God, we've only got 8 players warming up here. Who gives a damn? Listen, let the big girls speak here. Let the people know what they're talking about here.
Okay, so Arsenal-Chelsea then, how do you see this one going? Because Arsenal have now announced, they've not announced anything. Leah Williamson wasn't in training.
Yeah, I think she's a doubt. I've heard
they're missing a number of the players who've been in the Asian Cup as well.
Yep. I'm a bit like, I think looking at that cast, I would actually be more nodding towards Chelsea right now.
What, with the 8 players?
Because Cassie have more than 8 players fit. You're looking too deep into it. Told you. But I do think that but Arsenal have that grit in their teeth and experience, and I don't think Arsenal ever do too bad against Chelsea. They love playing Chelsea.
You're right, they do.
They love playing Chelsea. Mm-hmm. It's at the Emirates. But I think Leah Williamson, if she doesn't play, if she's not available, massive loss again, because she's just so important for them in possession and stuff like that. I know she's a defender, but so much comes through her. She starts attacks, she breaks lines. She's an intelligent player, and she is one of their big characters in the dressing room, so she'll be hugely missed. Mm-hmm. But it's up to other people to step up. Other centre-backs maybe haven't had as many minutes either. So it's a big opportunity for certain players. So I just hope it's a good game. I don't want no boring stalemate draw, tactical battle. I want to see football. I want to see teams popping the ball about. I want to see combinations. I want to see their wingers getting people and attacking. I want to see goals, and I want to see big tackles and bodies on the line, and I want it to be carnage. Amen to that, sister.
Preach. No, I completely agree. I want to see a good old-fashioned Champions League classic, a derby classic. Now, the thing is, I've been lucky enough to get to see them, Chelsea and Arsenal, all season here, but I've got to watch them in the Champions League as well. I feel Chelsea having never won this competition before, and it being the holy grail for them, that's what they want to get to. Ruesha, my personal opinion, Chelsea fans, let's have this debate in the comments, but I feel they couldn't be further away from it based on their performances. I feel Arsenal will progress over the 2 legs, even if they are missing key players like your Australian bunch and Leah Williamson. I still feel that Chelsea are missing something at the moment.
Yeah, look, I think it's safe to say that they're not playing the prettiest or best of football. But you could argue that before, but they win leagues. They never really play this beautiful ball game the way you could say that Arsenal do, that Man City do. They're a bit more direct at times. Yes, they've got players now in the team like Keira Walsh. Can they play through her more? Everyone's hoping to see that, I think. Everyone's wanting to see that. But Chelsea have just won another final. They'll not be worried right now. They'll be going, we just need to stick to doing what we're doing. And yes, we've seen the news also that maybe Sam Kerr might not be there. Millie Bright might not be there. So I think these players will be wanting to give it their all. And if it is coming to an end for them at Chelsea, they'll want to go out with a bang and, you know, control the controllables. So.
Well, it should be an interesting one all the same. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think Arsenal having the home advantage at the Emirates will have a lot to say?
I'm going to actually go to, I think there's something about Arsenal at the Emirates and they've got that big games. They love a big game. They don't like playing the bottom half of the table in the league. When it's a big game, they get up for it, they're better. They perform better against better opposition.
This is the
bit
thing.
Bit worried about, though, Aussie girls, if they're not available. If Leah's not available, is Olivia Smith available?
I saw that she wasn't in training.
Could be a doubt also. So I'm a bit like, it's a big ask, but Chloe Kelly came up trumps in our league game the other day.
Yeah. We will see.
Do you know what? It could be an evenly matched game. I'm going to go for something crazy. I'm going to go for something right now, just a random put it out there. 2 each. But I'm miles off it.
In the first leg?
Miles off it, but let's hope that happens. That'd be exciting.
I don't doubt that it could be a high-scoring game. Look at Arsenal at the weekend. No, I don't doubt that. I saw Erin Cuthbert doing press for Chelsea ahead of this game, and if there's one person in that team who's just stepping up each season, game in, game out, it is Erin Cuthbert. I think is she the stalwart? Is that what the journals say? It's a stalwart, yeah. She's she's like just this mainstay presence, beast. Mm-hmm. Maybe not a beast. But yeah, she's just like, she is that team.
She's an engine. She has a heartbeat in the team.
That's what I was trying to say. She's the heartbeat.
She's a heartbeat, yeah. Quality player, does it all, tenacious, aggressive. Big word. I was looking at my dictionary on the training. Can see a pass, can score a goal, loves doing the dirty work, Cass. So massive player for Chelsea. I think Chelsea will be hoping that Erin Cuthbert and Keira Walsh come up trumps tomorrow and for the next fixture.
Arsenal needed to get to the second round of the league phase of the competition to make it through to the quarterfinals. Chelsea got there in the first 4. They took one of those top 4 spots. Chelsea want this bad. Arsenal are defending champions. Who do you think will get to the next round? Who'll get to the semis? Oh my God, guys, we've put her on the spot.
Why do I need to pick right now? Why can't we watch the game?
It's called a prediction.
But I can't see. We need to watch about the first leg to see.
From what you've seen enough of them all season.
Do you know what? Right, I'll go for...
You're going to go for Arsenal?
I'm so close to, but I'm just going to go on... I'm going to go back to the depth of squad and go Chelsea.
Right.
Chelsea will have an... It's a harsh call. That's all I'm putting it down to right now.
They brought in a couple of youngsters, didn't they, last week? Some of their academy players who look promising. Soiree is one of them. I think it's Soiree. It might be Soiree. But again, they've got that promising talent there. But Ruesha, they've got such a big squad. I'm not sure Sonia Bonpastor has been playing her consistent 11, and I think that might be a bit of an issue there. With Arsenal, even with these players out, you know who's going to be filling in the gaps. You know who's going to be starting 11, which I think will be important for this game against Chelsea. And then we'll see what happens after that. But I think I'm putting my money on Arsenal getting to the semi-finals.
Well, Cassim, you do love Arsenal. You're sitting there with your Arsenal top under your black top there.
No,
probably.
I put on my red lipstick today for Arsenal.
Yeah. Oh, but you're quick to shoot them down when stuff hits the fan, aren't you? You're one of those fans. You're a classic Arsenal fan. You're like the keyboard warriors that give it loads.
Oh, the one thing that I'm not is a keyboard warrior. I can sit here and eat it if I'm wrong. That's fine. They haven't been good enough at getting this season.
Do you want to touch
situation
on,
we're in, I think they'll be okay.
Would you like to touch on, we spoke about this earlier, but would you like to touch on you saying that Spurs will finish ahead of Arsenal this season? Are you eating humble pie yet about that one, or are you
Listen, they get absolutely trounced by Man City, but we'll come to that in just a moment. Talk to me about Manchester United, Bayern Munich. There's a question in here. Now, I'm going to look at you, producer Bo. It says, do Manchester United need to part ways with Mark Skinner to go to the next level?
Okay, I'm going to say I think he's earned the right to have another year, because this is probably the first time we've really looked at United spending cash and strengthening their squad. And it's not a quick fix, it's not an overnight success. So he needs a bit more time. He'll get another window in summer if he stays. And then I think you judge him off that season. So they're in the Champions League.
Because he's won a trophy. Not this season.
Yeah, I'm saying he stays. He stays. Give him another year. Give him another year of spending money, strengthening his squad, keeping the players that he's got.
Right.
And then you judge him off that. Because it's the first time he's probably actually been able to go and pick some players from different clubs, better clubs. Well,
and they don't have the budget that Chelsea, I believe, have. Like maybe Man City might have this summer.
Exactly.
The Arsenal that we know have. So yeah, you're right about that. But I can't understand why not, because you're Manchester United.
Oh yeah, 100% agree with you there. But what's
you're the
that?
biggest club in the world.
That's the board. But we've seen when things go wrong at United and the penny pinching that they have been doing to try and, tighten the purse strings. Some of it you're a bit like, and the women's team gets hit first. So they have maybe went here, they've upped their budget, but do they want to compete? Do they really care about the women's team that much? Would they want to compete with the likes of Chelsea?
That's where I look and say I think he's overachieved with what he's going against in terms of if there is tight purse strings and problems with the board. And we know that Sir Jim Ratcliffe didn't know who Katie Zelem was at that time, and all that kind of nonsense. That the club have stated that their ambition is to help the women's team win their first WSL. Last window, okay, we saw a glimmer of that. We saw them bringing in promising players, Champions League proven players to the club who have been brilliant. They have been absolutely exceptional. I look at what he's been able to do, and I think you're a great coach. You're a brilliant manager. And yeah, you might not say everything that pleases the masses, but whatever you're doing with your team, whatever you're doing with the team behind the scenes is working. Man United, for me, I'm like with another couple of windows, and that manager could be looking at winning a WSL, because Chelsea are dropping off. Again, we'll come to the WSL in just a second. Arsenal, you don't know what you're going to get, or against teams like Leicester or West Ham or whatever, are they going to drop points? But Man United being in this situation, in this position in the Champions League and getting to the quarterfinals, okay, against Bayern Munich, I think flowers to Mark Skinner. He can have them.
Oh no, I think he's done a great job. We were sitting here, when was this? Like a year and a half ago, questioning should Mark Skinner still be in a job? But he's really turned things around, and he's got the United team playing some good football, may I add. But yeah, they've strengthened the squad, and he'll be looking to keep strengthening. So yeah, I hope he's still about. And but that's the thing, if he's now getting the money to spend, then they have to start pushing up the table again and start to actually really push for that title. But you look at United, and it wasn't that long ago that they weren't a women's team.
What are they, 6 years?
And then they're in a championship, and now they're in WSL. So you go, they have done pretty well considering their time in the game.
Focusing then on this Champions League tie against Bayern Munich, I got to, with Disney Plus, watch some of those Bayern Munich games and beat their games throughout the league phase of the competition. And I think they're absolutely fantastic. I just think they've got that extra bit of squad depth and quality, high quality players in their side. And when you speak to, like, say, Soccer Donna, or the likes of that, they always talk about it's open and out there that it's Bayern's ambition to win the Champions League. They don't want to not be thought of in that bracket. They want to be up there with Barcelona, Arsenal, and the likes, and Lyon. They want to be up there. Do you think it's possible of Bayern this season, and are we underestimating them?
Maybe we are underestimating them. Maybe the focus is right now on these English teams, so it's going to be a great contest, but they've got so much experience in the Bayern squad, so much depth, it's a different type of player that they've got in the squad. It's fascinating to see. It'll be a fascinating game, a fascinating fixture. But what you know about Bayern and typical German teams is they're so efficient.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard through some of my contacts is that they run a very smooth ship behind the scenes, which I think really does go a long way in football. So it'll be interesting to see, but you can never say never. They've every right to believe that they can win it.
Who's your contact?
I can't disclose that right now.
You're not disclosing your source?
I can't disclose. No, you never disclose your source. Never.
Sometimes I do.
So,
Sometimes I
yeah.
don't.
Interesting.
Have you seen their manager as well?
What do you mean?
Josie Barcala. I've interviewed him a couple of times.
What? Fit? Bit of that?
Bit of that.
Bit of that?
Yeah, definitely. That's probably going to get cut out, but I mean, it's a compliment.
Yeah,
I don't think we should say bit of that, but what fine wine he is.
A fine specimen.
He's got that kind of silver fox vibe.
Right.
And he's smooth, and he's got like the glistening eyes. Now I've said it, okay?
Right.
And that's why Disney Plus took me off their Bayern games.
The harassment. This poor manager trying to do his job and you're hovering about him all the time, honestly. God love him.
Right, go on then, give me some predictions.
I just gave you predictions.
You said 2-2, but you didn't give me a Man United Bayern prediction.
Right,
And I'd like
Man
to ask
United.
you to drop the attitude.
Oh.
What's your problem?
Sorry, where is this? Is this home or away?
Man United.
It's at United,
Yeah.
right? So it's that right. Oh, it's going to be I think there's going to be goals. Oh, I'm going 3-2.
To United?
Bayern.
Okay. Oh, that makes for a tasty second leg.
Imagine that. That'd be a thriller of a game, that would be.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. I like that. Looking forward to the Champions League. However you watch it, you can get in the comments. Let us know your predictions. And who do you think will progress to the semi-final out of Arsenal or Chelsea over the two legs? And can it be Man United? Could they do their job over Bayern Munich? And are we underestimating Bayern Munich? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Let's focus on the WSL because a fascinating old weekend. That league table ain't playing. Ruesha ain't playing. Okay, Manchester City, we said it. We think they are going to win it. It'll be impossible now for them to lose it. Well, not impossible, but it looks like they've won it. I'm looking at that third, fourth spot, right? Chelsea are there. Arsenal have 2 games on them. Arsenal win those 2 games and Chelsea drop out of the Champions League places. Therefore, they've got a job to do in the Champions League. How crazy is that Chelsea might not have Champions League football next season?
Criminal. It's criminal. I think with the squad that they've got, with the calibre of players, the money put into that squad, it would be a travesty. And I hate to say it, and I don't say this lightly, but would Sonia Bonpastor have to walk? Would she? I know they've just signed a new contract. I know she's there for another few seasons, but how can you justify that? How can you go, that's okay? She's taking the reins off Emma Hayes. Yes, there's been changes. Yes, there has to be changes. I understand that. But something's not right. Something ain't clicking.
What's
Do
not
they
right?
need time? Well,
What's
I don't
your
know.
sources telling me?
Is it how... I don't have sources. I don't have inside scoop here. But from the outside looking in, I would say that she's not getting the best out of players. Maybe it's how she's running her ship. Maybe she's ruffled too many feathers. Too many big changes being made that the players don't like. I'm not sure. But will she come good? I don't know. You've got the likes of Alicia Thompson. Breath of fresh air. But they can't keep relying on her. You know, they need the team to all chip in. So I'm a bit like, oh, wow. Again, if I'm Arsenal, I don't really want to be playing catch-up. But Arsenal have got that bit to go, we get Champions League football again. So we've got all to play for. You know, we need to catch up. We'll catch up them 2 games. But, it's a madness.
I don't see Arsenal dropping points in the WSL, whereas with Chelsea being held to a draw by London City, I'm looking and going, hold on a minute, we've got frailties here. We've got...
We've already seen it.
I get that they've won a cup, right? But I'm sorry, no disrespect. You've said it yourself, it's not an important trophy. They're not going, oh, brilliant, we've finished the 25-26 season with the League Cup. Chelsea are dominant. They've won 6 titles in a row. So the fact that they could end up maybe with no Champions League football, never mind not winning the WSL, never know they could win the FA Cup, but if I'm putting my money on it, I think they'll be out of the Champions League over these quarterfinals. That is awful. And fair play, Sonia Bonpastor, you've got a good agent.
But will they step up? Will Chelsea step up because it's Champions League?
I don't know if they've got the... I don't know if they've
Will
got...
they look at it and go, right, well, we've absolutely... It's
they
not
got
over
the
till it's over.
have
It's
they
not
got the
over till it's
characters?
over. But they've obviously blown the league. They've blown it, right? So have they got Champions League to play for? So will they? So if they win the Champions League. It's like Arsenal last season.
Yeah,
Say Chelsea go and win the Champions League, then you go, yes, that is success.
Right.
So Sonia goes, right, okay, well, we move on to next season. That's fine. But if they don't win the Champions League and they end up finishing 4th, it's an absolute disaster.
And if they win the Champions League, then fair
Sonia,
play. Fair play, that's what you wanted.
Sonia, here's my number. Sign me up.
What we could see is an Ange Postecoglou type vibe kind of thing. I'm going to put all of my eggs in the Champions League basket. And what we might see against Arsenal is that they completely blow them away. What we've seen over the last couple of seasons is Arsenal have a bit more of an upper hand over Chelsea. The last league game was a draw, right? And it was a good game, that's for sure. The fact that this is in the Champions League now, I'm like, oh my God, it's so intense. But when you look at their league form, when you look at the players that they've got, and it's a new manager, I have major concerns. Because you're getting compared to Emma Hayes, that's it.
Oh, that's another one. It's such tough shoes, big boots to fill.
Big old boots.
But Sonia also has, in her own right, is a massive character, done a lot in the game. But that's why I just look and go, is there too many changes? Is there too many fellas being ruffled?
Right.
Is there too many big players there now that she can't control? I'm not sure we're speculating, we are. Start a wild rumour if you want, but I'm not going to do that.
What's the wild rumour?
You could make it up like that, Cass. You
so
love
there's not a rumour?
No, I've not got a rumour. I've not got a rumour. But
you really threw me there.
Something ain't clicking. I'd love to phone up one of the Chelsea players and ask them. So stay tuned till next week and we will give you the inside scoop.
Right, let's focus on Manchester City then. They just keep providing. And Bunny Shaw, Ruesha, who doesn't, I believe, have a new contract at Man City, or does she?
Of course she does.
Does she?
Of course she does.
Now, Mama had heard, right? Mama had heard that she was linked to Chelsea, okay? And I went, no, come on now, too much going on at Chelsea. Where is Mayra Ramirez? When is she going to be back? I mean, she's missing, God bless her. She's so missed from that team just now. There's Sam Kerr. There's the players that we've already mentioned, right? There's a lot of goal scorers in that team. If I'm City, you sign the dotted line yesterday, get it done. I believe it is done.
Oh, it's 100% done.
It's got to be done.
It's done and there's a few zeros probably whacked on the end.
And the bloody should be.
Yeah.
Excuse my language.
Yeah. Oh, no, credit to Bunny, I think, do you know what? I could see her in the Chelsea team, bit of a different role. But I think she'd need to maybe score more goals from crosses. She'd be relying on crosses. But I think how Man City play with the likes of Viv. Viv's just threading balls.
Yeah.
Viv sliding balls through to Bunny.
Yeah.
On numerous occasions, here you go, honey, on a plate. She's making her life a lot easier. And you know what? You could actually watch some games and go, Bunny could be on, honestly, a good few more goals to her tally this season had she been more clinical. And you know what? I'm going to say something outrageous here. I'm going to upset a lot of people. I actually think that Miedema is a better finisher than Bunny Shaw, which is outrageous to say because Bunny's just scored a 15-minute hat-trick, which is incredibly fantastic. Great. Viv's finishing is fantastic, but I'm not taking that away from Bunny. I just put that in there because I just love how Viv finishes. But Viv Miedema makes, I think, Bunny Shaw's life a lot easier. It's scoring goals.
I think a lot of people will absolutely agree with you on that. But for me, I mentioned it, I think, before in the show, she's the difference in how you win a league. Because she'll, like, say, if Viv's putting it on a plate all the time, she's making her job a hell of a lot easier. But that to me is in a great squad. And again, I know it's old news now, but Arsenal will be looking and going,
yeah, Bunny has to score them credit where credit's due. And her game is about scoring goals.
Yeah.
I think that's all she cares about.
Yeah.
Like, her game is about scoring goals, a bit like Haaland. His game's about in the box. Scoring goals. Yes, you need to chip in with other bits and bobs, but when you're that prolific and you're that much of a vocal point in the team, your job's to score goals. So, yeah, you could be looking going, Arsenal don't have that again. They don't have that type of player.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Ruesha as a striker. Everyone loves Ruesha as a striker because I think she's got that honest, hard-working ethic about her. She's always there. She's 100%. Her availability stats are ridiculous. You know, she ticks a lot of boxes.
I do like Ruesha on the 10 though. I like her just, sometimes when she's not even just the centre. I like her in that wee bit of a deeper position.
Yeah.
And she's great at rolling players.
But if you were to take a striker now, who are you going to take? Ruesha or Bunny?
Obviously on stats right now, you need to take Bunny. But Ruesha still can score goals.
Yeah.
Oh, it's one of those. Look, it's fantastic. It's fantastic to see these
really
players. It's
fantastic.
fantastic to see these quality players within the women's game. I must say, I really enjoy it.
Okay, let's talk about
Right,
Spurs
sorry.
with Jess Iszatt.
Random here.
What?
Random.
What?
Let's just boom, drop some. Was going to say something there. Didn't think I was allowed to say that because that get cut, so I didn't say it. But say Sam Kerr's leaving Chelsea. I know we've seen that she's linked to NWSL teams. Understand she's got an American partner and stuff like that. But like, what if Arsenal just went, right, Sam? Come on over to my place. Do you think that could be a possibility?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a bad shout.
I wonder what she'd say to that.
Only thing is, yes, is I don't know. I think with women's football it's different because you do look a lot at their personal lives kind of thing. You do look, okay, she just has had a baby. Would they want to be closer to the States because maybe that's where the mum or partner is going to be kind of thing. I can't help but think maybe there's actually personally it would work for her to be stateside. Again, I don't know her from Adam, so that's just a thought. But yeah, I like the sound of that. I do. Don't get me wrong. Russo's got years in her. She's quality. She never really lets the side down.
Yeah.
But I think if Arsenal want to win a title next season, they need to strengthen in that position. They need to bring in more goal scorers or play Chloe Kelly a little bit more. Olivia Smith, I think they'll be building the team around her.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, again, she's that young player. Is she still growing? Is she going to have knocks? Is she going to maybe have seasons where she is a little bit injured, touch wood?
Injured or not even that, just form. A young player, you know, you're going to, like any player, you're going to dip in and out of form. So they can't just be relying on her, but I think she will be a vocal point to how Arsenal play. And I think we're going to see a bit of a style change in Arsenal's ways, which we have kind of been seeing a little bit anyway the last couple of seasons. I think they're still trying to figure out. But obviously when you get players like Mariona Caldente in the team, you got to play ball.
So Mariona Caldente, she just had a birthday the other day, didn't she?
Did she? She didn't invite me.
Well,
she didn't tell me.
I tell you what, I saw her. I saw her eating birthday cake in town.
I would never eat birthday
I was like
cake.
that through the window.
That's Mariona's birthday. Can I have some? Can I have some?
What does she do this summer? Is she staying at Arsenal? But former Arsenal Leah Volti linked back to the WSL. Now, you know Leah, you've known her for a number of years. Juventus, it's been then a short season, if it is, to be the end of her time there. Where would you see her going?
I think that Leah Volti is still a quality player. I think it's going to be on her, like what she wants to do, if she wants to stay in Italy or if she can get back to England. Is that going to be something she considers? I mean, I do think that she could still play in any of these teams, but it depends. Yes, I get you go. Chelsea's probably a no because they've got midfield players. You could look at a City. Why not?
I'm thinking London-based.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Spurs?
sometimes it's just not as... Yeah, I think she'd walk into a Spurs team. And that's not me being disrespectful to Spurs.
Spurs could use a player like her.
Her experience, her technical ability, great on the ball under pressure, keeps things ticking, keeps it moving. Why not? But I think it's up to her.
We'll get the thoughts on Jess Iszatt, who's going to be with us very, very soon, Spurs fan and DJ. But finally, this news came out earlier on in the week that international teams must have a women's coach in their team, either as the manager or the assistant manager. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's one of those, it's like, I don't think it's a bad thing, but I also think whoever's best for the job, whoever's fit for the job is what it should be. That's that's all I see it as, but I guess it's trying to encourage. I think it's sometimes it sounds like a bit of a tick box, because what if some teams don't have quality female or coaches that are ready yet that are females, but then they have to get the role ahead of maybe somebody that's better suited, better equipped, but then they lose out because that's the rule now. So there's a bit of that there that I'm a bit like, But look, I think the way the game's going, there is a lot better women's coaches coming through. And
so
I think
do you
there's been
think
a lot
then
of...
with this, we're going to see more women, which means the quality of women should get better?
I think it will get better, but I don't think you still need men within the game. You've got to go back to the whole thing of like, yeah, women weren't allowed to play football for X amount of years, so you're behind on that. So you're behind on everything in football, so why can't we use men as allies still to keep learning off them? Yes, it is a different game at times, but look, some of them are very good at what they do. Some of them are miles off it too. But I'm like, I don't want to get too deep on it. I don't think I get it's meant to be a plus. But I do look and go, well, what if someone else is better suited, but now they just lose out because it's a tick box. But also I do think people about it, they're going, well, it's fantastic news.
Yeah.
It's fantastic news, and I get it's meant to be positive, so.
Well, I mean, a lot of people, it's actually quite an interesting conversation, because how many times have we had the conversation, when will we ever see a woman working in men's football, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's nearly the end of the world when the conversation comes up, because men, a number of men, sometimes a big portion of men, do not want women working in men's teams because they won't understand it. So I think for us to have more of women who understand women, would it be better for the game? But also, I don't want everything to be a tick box. Yeah. I don't want that. Don't get me wrong, I do think that, like, if Emma Hayes went into Chelsea men, I think they could learn a lot from her. So it's important to have diversity in your squad and in your staff. Diversity is important. In fact, I think Emma Hayes' words were diversity means everyone looks after everyone else, because it's important to have all of these different angles and learning and culture and everything offered up. It makes us all better. So I think it's important that now we're prioritising more women for women's football. But also, I'm with you, I still want to see men in the jobs, because if we have it all women, we're losing diversity. And that was what the fight was about in the first place. That we weren't accepted, that women shouldn't be involved in men's football, women shouldn't like men's football. It all comes down to us having that fight and women getting that place, and the Lionesses changing the landscape over here because they were given that place. It was all about then the women getting their turn to do it, and they did. And I don't know where I'm going with my point here.
Do you want a tissue? You're all right.
Basically,
very emotional.
Cheers. Okay?
Cheers.
More women.
So sorry, more women. We're happy with more women.
I think I'm happy with it. Mm-hmm. I'm not entirely sure anymore. Listen, let us know your thoughts in the comments. And finally, Spurs DJ Jess Iszatt is in the house. Jess, welcome to the Kickback.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for
being so lovely.
Thanks for being. This is like your morning time, and you're probably hitting the club soon. You like scratch the decks.
Oh yeah, I really liked your version earlier. That's exactly what I do.
Is it? Yeah.
That's what everyone thinks when they say DJ.
Shebahn used to be a DJ too.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that means you were like scratching.
I was beat matching, didn't do a lot of scratching, but I did beat match. Apparently that's like a thing of the past. Do you beat match?
Oh, how is it a thing of the past?
So they still beat match in the clubs?
What do you mean?
I'm so confused.
So, well, that's the art of mixing though.
Yeah, exactly. But apparently now people are just like, AI, I'm not saying you're doing that at all, but like they don't have to beat match in the clubs anymore.
No, that's not true.
Really?
That's not true. We all beat match, except people who...
Is this like the DJ's Alliance?
I don't know. I'm so confused. Oh my God. This is interesting.
Maybe there's fraudsters out there.
Well,
Maybe there's fraudsters just relying on...
I'm pretty sure you can buy an app now and like...
It does it for you?
Request all the tunes.
No, this is turning into a whole nother debate, but there is software available for you to AI a mix together.
Okay.
But usually that's for things like radio shows or... a mix that you want to send where you want it to be seamless. Okay. But in the club, I don't think you'd do that.
Because you wouldn't...
Otherwise, you might get quite cancelled for that.
Well, that's what I thought.
How would people know?
Because you'd be like that.
I actually...
You're not. Surely I'm a wee punter in the club. Just,
You'd be too loud.
How am I going to know?
How am I
There are some chin strokers in the back of clubs being like, oof, clanger.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. So I actually...
strokers?
I'm not going to name any... This is, again, turning into a whole different podcast, but not going to name any names, but I do know some people who create mixes for other people who play them in the club, and then they throw in a few mistakes just so it doesn't seem like it's AI or put together by them.
That's too much effort to get it wrong. You do this for me, but get it wrong.
No. So they just throw in a few little that wasn't quite perfect. So it doesn't seem like a computer did it.
Oh my gosh. Right, so you're none of that. You're an actual DJ though.
No, yeah, because people are like, oh, girls use the sync button, but I've never used the sync button. And then there was one time where it was on already, and what it does is it means that you don't have any control over what happens, and I didn't know how to use it properly, so then that messed me up. Okay. So don't use the sync button,
Don't use the sync button.
I don't know what a sync button is.
Don't use sync at home.
It means that it makes it beat match perfectly.
She's standing at the sink like that. What? She's washing her hands.
She's like, is this me using the sync button?
Right.
There's a button on your sink. What?
Yeah.
So you work for Spurs as well.
Yes.
Firstly, tell us how you get into DJing and why this is your passion.
It actually is a bit of a weird story because, again, I've always been in radio, and when I was at uni, I sort of did it in my final year and was like, that's fun, cool. I'm going to be a radio presenter. But I literally had no idea how it worked or anything. And so I tried doing some sort of work experience. I was in Newcastle. I went there because it was like one of the biggest party cities. I literally spent about 2 hours up there and was like, yeah, I'm sold, I'm in. I think the stat is that there's the most amount of clubs in the concentrated space in the whole of Europe at the time when I went. And I fell into radio, stayed up there for another year, a bit like Van Wilder. And I was pursuing more presenting than anything. But I think because I went into a new music show, you were getting sent all types of music. And then when I moved back down to London, I then was in a radio station that used decks. Yeah. So immediately was already learning how to use them. And I think, though, with any sort of male-dominated space, I was very reluctant to say I was a DJ for a very long time. And even then, like when I was learning how to mix, I had a few scenarios where men would be like, oh, I'll teach you. And then it became very apparent that they weren't actually going to teach me. They just wanted to hang out. And I don't know, it kind of pushed me back a bit. So I wouldn't officially say I started DJing until lockdown. I got sent a pair of decks. I didn't know really, I knew how to use them, but not in the same way as the ones that I have been using. And then the competition called The 100 came up, and it was launched just after lockdown. It's a cricket competition, and I was the London Spirit DJ at Lord's. And I never forget the producer turning around to me, and she was like, oh, have you ever DJed to 30,000 people before? And I was like, I've never DJed to anyone before. And she was like, oh, okay, well, this is going to go well then. And the first game, we had the most torrential rain, so the rain playlist came out, and I ended up DJing for like 4 hours straight. One of my friends who's a booker saw me playing, booked me for my first festival. And yeah, I guess the rest is history.
But being a DJ is really cool. I mean, it's such a fun job, like you say, but also nerve-wracking as well, because like you say, you've got a big audience to try and impress and make everyone happy. That's hard. I've
always been so used to being like the host of something, coming on and being like, this artist is amazing, I've been playing them on my show, you should know them because they're this, that and the other and whatever it is. And then bopping off stage and then just watching them being like, wow, they're amazing, and being proud. But yeah, a couple of my first DJ sets, I was like, oh my God, I am up here for 2 hours and I am the entertainment and everyone's just watching you. You're like, this is crazy.
And that's the thing with Spurs as well. Sorry, I'm talking too much. You can absolutely come in when you But with Spurs, because it's been, for the men, a really hard season in such a beautiful venue. They're going there
the
for
sound is great.
Yeah, exactly. Go in there and go, this looks great. And then the football starts. It's like, how do you keep the vibes?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. So I've DJed mostly for Spurs women, and I have done a handful of the men's games. And the ones where it goes well, it's the most amazing electric atmosphere ever. And you'll be playing the upbeat songs that everyone's cheering to, you know, the Freed From Desires and Glory, Glory at the end as well. And then they decided that they were going to have a protocol at the end of the game where they'd play indie music, and Harry Styles was getting played a lot at the end if it wasn't a good outcome. And so now I associate Harry Styles, I'm so sorry, Harry, with the last... They've switched it up now, thank God. It's like when you put your favourite song as your ringtone to wake you up in the morning, not ringtone, alarm, and you're like, oh, I now hate that song. But no, they've switched it up now, thank God. But yeah, the halftime song, I mean, if it's sort of tentative, Let's Get Down to Business sometimes goes down quite well, a little Tiesto number. But there's only so much you can do. And I think the women's is very different. The vibe and the atmosphere is very different. Obviously, even when it's competitive, there's still a lot of families there. There's still a lot of people who are just there to enjoy a good day out. I think with the men's, it can become, I hate using the word toxic, but I think especially with Spurs men, with how things are, the juxtaposition of having this incredible stadium, like you mentioned, amazing facilities, amazing, I would say, individual players, but obviously just not gelling, and people almost turning to anything to say why the performance wasn't good. I've had people tweet me and say that it's because of the music, and I'm like, you are ridiculous, but fine. Yeah.
They'll find anyone to blame but themselves. Spurs women then, have you enjoyed them this season? Because I said to Rue, when was that? Bo will need to dig out the clip and the time code, but I thought that Spurs would have finished above Arsenal this season because I think they've been so brilliant with Martin Hall, but over the last couple of weeks, well, last couple of months now, it started to ever so slightly drop off.
It's such a shame, isn't it? The game that we played them in November was actually on my birthday, so I remember that. And I was there and I was playing.
Happy birthday to me.
Yeah, I actually played that.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I hit play on that and made everyone sing to me. It was a draw 0-0, which I think we'd take. It's hard, isn't it? Because I was there when we won against them a couple of years ago now, 2 seasons ago, and again the atmosphere is just insane. And so I would say it's a result nipping a point off them.
You're not saying Arsenal, are you? When you keep saying them?
Them, I don't want to say that.
She's not saying the A word? Brilliant.
I don't want to say the name.
Proper Spurs fan.
Right.
It doesn't come out without
Them. I'm like, we are talking about Arsenal, aren't we? Okay, cool.
The Gooners. Yeah, no, it was okay. And I remember sitting next to Martha Thomas, and because she was injured, can't remember exactly what she'd hurt, I think it was her foot. And I was like, oh, how's it going with the new manager? And she was like, yeah, Martin's really strict. And I was like, okay, whatever it is, it's working. It's a shame the form's dipped, but top 5, I'd take it.
Yeah.
I think they're doing well. Yeah.
I think top 5 is respectable, and then he gets another season to push on. Pressure will be on then to climb them up the table, but he's done well.
Well, the more
Some good signings though, some really good signings.
very good signings, and the more the season goes on, that's when you realise you need a squad.
Yes.
Kind of thing. And I think this year, again, like Mark Skinner we're talking about, has shown that he's a very good manager and he just needs a bit more investment and a bit more, you know.
I think it's time though, isn't it? You're building a foundation, and last season wasn't as good, and I feel like we're building on that. And I think even just getting to Wembley, when was it? Year before last. I think that was insane for the Spurs women. And I think now again, with the new signings, the Nilden duo, even Tinker being in there, just being an absolute machine. I just love watching her. I think we're finding a real foundation of people to get behind and get really excited about. And I think that's always the best kind of foundation, then you build from there.
And how would you feel as a Spurs fan if Leah Volti was to end up a Spurs player? Just starting rumours here.
That's what you were talking about earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's not an easy switch though, is it? Would she even want to?
I don't know.
I
know.
go in a women's
to
seat, yeah.
She would.
Want to. Well, from what I believe, Juventus is nowhere near the standard of the WSL. Not only that, it's not.
But
they really undervalue the women's team out there.
Why-
Leah's
why-
experienced the best at Arsenal.
of all the teams to go back to in the WSL, you think it would be Spurs?
Well, she'd throw 2 fingers up to Arsenal.
Let's just say she has a base in St Albans, so
Let's
it would
just
make
say-
sense. You know, so I'm just starting rumours here.
Geographically,
Yeah.
2 fingers up to the Gooners.
Yeah.
Would we have her?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying no.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
And even though you're very hateful towards them, you would still take an ex-them who's a quality player like Leah Volti to your team next summer.
I think if the reasons were genuine, she would be welcomed with open arms.
Genuine.
Brilliant. You don't really get like the hate like that with women's teams yet. This is the first
I think
time
it's
that
good
is-
that we have to bring this in, yeah. It has to
I feel
start.
like that's what we need. Like people keep comparing fan bases even. I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, let's bring the call back to the WSL.
Yeah, no, I agree. Some people are boring. Some of them are miserable and all. So.
Well, maybe sometime we'll come to one of the games and you'll be DJing and then
Yeah, you need to.
go and
And
have a
sorry,
look.
what's the DJ goal for you personally?
A DJ goal. Actually, I did have one last year with the men's, which was insane, going to Bilbao. I just wish that the bounce off of that had been better, because then I feel like this year has been such a downer. It's hard to keep reminiscing about that as though it was just last year, because it feels so far from where we're at now. But I got to fly on a plane with the friends and family of the players of Spurs, which is insane, like meeting Archie Gray's family, and they're so, the most incredibly impeccably dressed humans I think I've ever seen.
Well, they're a very
on the planet.
talented family, aren't they? They all played for Scotland and all that.
Yeah, and then you've got Vicario's mum who gives the best hugs ever. I'm like, is this real life?
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like the best atmosphere. And then we got there, and then it was almost like a little mini holiday. And I sat with Paul Coit, who does the
I love Paul.
intros.
I love Paul Coit.
I mean, having a red wine with Paul Coit in Bilbao, come on. That was the night before the game. And then I was hanging out with AJ Tracy, who came out whilst I was DJing. He peeked his head round. I've interviewed him a few times. I know him. And he was like, oh, yeah, I only came out on stage because I saw you there. So, like, even just, like, tick, tick, tick. And then the trophy, just the cherry on top of the cake.
Yeah,
really.
Nice.
Now you're heading to the championship, so that's fun, isn't it?
Oh, yay, another trophy. Can't wait.
Listen, put yourself out there, FA Cup final, all that kind of thing. Would you love to do?
I would love to. I would love to.
Book Jess now.
Guys, I'm free.
Book Jess now.
So you know.
As long as Arsenal aren't in the final.
Oh yeah. Well,
Jess
like
Iszatt, thank you so much for your time. Keep going. Keep going for it, and we'll hopefully see you in a club very, very soon.
Thanks for having me.
At the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Get your comments, let us know your thoughts on today's show. Thank you so much for watching The Kickback on talkSPORT. Sponsored by Disney Plus, where you can watch every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League live on Disney Plus. Don't miss Arsenal versus Chelsea quarter-final, 24th of March, live only on Disney Plus. 18 plus subscription required. See you next week. Tatty bye.